Go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah.
We're up?
We're up.
Hello, everyone. Dr. Mark here at Natural Health. Hope you're having a great day. We're talking tonight about, or this month really, about learning and brain health and science and different fun things. So tonight I'm going to talk about the gut-brain connection. We've talked about this before, but really not so much in this light. So we're going to try to kind of filter in, how does the body learn this way? How does the body get its knowledge? So we'll start right into this. A quick little diagram of the gut itself. So if I make sure I have it the right way. So anyway, this is the gut lining, and then of course we have all the little microorganisms that are in the gut. We see this with probably 95% or so of my new patients coming from nutrition, is that they end up with leaky gut. They end up with their gut is inflamed from food allergies and different things. They end up having leaky gut, and then these toxins and bacteria and gluten. Lectin, that's a word you may have heard before. It's similar to a gluten. It gets in there, gets in the bloodstream, and then it gets up to the brain and all the kind of things that go on there. And we have all kind of problems. And not only, even if you don't have the spaces there, the leaky gut, these microorganisms, if there's a lot of them there, like mold and yeast, when they grow, especially the bad ones, they make toxins that even can get into the vagus nerve, which is that connection to the brain from the gut directly, the nervous system itself. So a lot of connection with the gut and brain. And so it's so important that the gut is right, especially in kids that are going to class, learning about things. So in our office, we see a lot of problems with the processed foods, the sugars and things that go on, causing these molds and yeast, especially yeast, to grow, a lot more bacterial load in the gut. And another thing that's I don't really have a way of looking at it here, but the pH, the acid-base balances will change and become more basic in a high processed food, high sugar load there for the kids. So so it's just really important to look at it from that point of view. We really want to try to get away from all these processed foods. And that is tough when you're going to any kind of public institution that relies upon the USDA food pyramid, because they're always going to work towards that, all the grains and all that kind of stuff. And you have to look at, what is a person actually need. That's what we do at Natural Health, is help people figure that out. What does their body run best on? So that's probably enough of that, of this little diagram. We'll go on to the next slide. And we're talking about the gut and psychological syndrome. Actually, it's gastrointestinal psychological syndrome, great big words, which just mean the gut and the brain and how they work together. So Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride treats children with adults with autism, learning disabilities, the whole list there. And her child was an autistic child. And it doesn't really matter the source. I mean, some people blame vaccines. Vaccines have a problem, but it's not the only source. So we got another thing I look at again is the overuse of antibiotics, which kills off the good flora in the gut. That's a big problem. And then again, these bad diets. The kids eating sugary cereals every morning, first thing. There's nothing worse you can do for a person is give them sugary cereal in the morning for breakfast. That's probably the worst thing you can do. Because again, your blood sugar goes off the wall, insulin goes crazy, and inflammation of the day. And it's hard to ask kids, and I don't care, adults, teenagers, college students, to sit in class all day after you've had sugar in the morning, middle of the morning, your blood sugar's going to crash. They have to have something to eat again. It's up and down all day. It's bad news. So that's the way that we help kids and adults to get working better so they can actually learn. Now, another part of this up and down business, you can imagine with the blood sugar, is how is that going to make you feel? So if you're, in the morning you've had, and then the kids won't have coffee, but if they have Mountain Dew, I've seen that before, Mountain Dew and sugary cereals in the morning, wow, they're on a high, they're crazy, and so they're feeling great. They're going to learn a whole lot, but they can't sit still, and they can't listen to the teacher because they're too busy flirting around. But about 10 o'clock, 10:30, they're crashed, and they feel awful. And they're moody and tired, and they're grumpy. And adults are the same way. Well, it's very hard to learn in that environment of your brain going up and down and up and down all day. So that's why we're looking at what's good for a person to learn, or how can a person learn about logic and science when they're emotional. So the emotional things of how they feel. So it's important to get the body to be more stable, not only in bowel function, brain function, but again the blood sugar, the hormones, all those things that go along with that. So so I think I've kind of talked about that. Let's go to the next slide. Your gut literally serves as your second brain, producing more neurotransmitter serotonin, known to have beneficial influence on your mood than your brain does. So the gut is more influencing the mood of you than your brain is. And so people don't have a clue, one, about that. And again, the medical system we have now is excellent on emergency care, but they really don't know anything about this stuff. They have very little training on it. They don't have time to mess with it. And so that's what we do at Natural Health, again, as an alternative provider. We're looking at these gray areas, not where persons are in bad shape, but they're just not working right. And so that's something we can do with. Just more information about the challenges, identify struggles. Again, how did that person get to the point where they're either autistic or whatever else is going on in there? Look at the cause of what's going on, and that's what we help to work on. The GAPS nutritional protocol, basically, they're looking at getting the gut healed up, do a lot of bone meal things, soups and all kind of stuff like that to soothe the intestine. We have a different way of doing it in our office here. We use a lot of digestive enzymes. We actually take people off of the offending foods. We have a way of checking food allergies. Again, most people have problems with that when they come in, and that lends to a whole bunch of symptoms. So, autism is basically a symptom. It's the red light on the dashboard of the car blinking. Something's wrong in there. Well, let's don't use drugs and smash it down. Let's figure out what the cause is behind it. And so we got a lot of work to do there to help patients' diets to improve. Let's see. I think we've went through most of that. We're working on the cell the damaged gut lining, getting the cells to regenerate. And the good news is the gut lining regenerates pretty quickly, so we can get that handled pretty quick if we can get them off of the carbs and stuff like that. The erythrocytes, different things, the enterocytes that rebuild the body. So all the good information there. We're trying to rebuild the body, get the body what it needs to be healthy, and work that way. The primary foods, homemade meat stock, the bone broth, things there, again, soups, the vegetables, and then again, good food. Actually, what kids are supposed to have, good food, and re-heal that gut lining. We use a lot of probiotics in the office. We get them on things that get the yeast. A lot of people have yeast overgrowth. Again, the overuse of antibiotics. In our culture, unfortunately, if the child has an ear infection, then right away they go to the emergency room and go on antibiotics for 10 days. That's just what it is. And so, that's okay. You want them to have high fevers. You don't want them to go in pneumonia. But they don't look at the second hand, and they should be on probiotics after that. Now, that should be part of the prescription, but it's not. So anyway, let's see, fibers, vegetables, different things in there. So that's some good information. And you can get her, she has her own book, The GAPS Diet, Dr. Natasha McBride. So you can get a hold of that book, and there's a whole diet that goes with it. A lot of good information there. I think we've got that. Fermented yogurt, whey, fermented vegetables, a lot of fermented foods on there. Now the trick with that is that kids don't always like those foods. So the trouble getting them to eat them. Now again, we use food supplements in our office, so we do it a different way. But it doesn't matter. You got to get that in there so the body can heal. And again, get them off of these refined processed foods and get them to eat actual real food. Eggs are excellent for all kinds of things. Butter, all that good stuff, all that good actual food. So there's McBride's book, The Gut and Psychological Syndrome, and there's a website that you can get that at. And she calls it gut. I call it gastrointestinal. I like the bigger words. So, and then so one of the things we do in our office, Bacopa Complex, is an herbal support that helps with enhancing mental clarity and supports healthy cognitive function. So we use that a lot for our kids that are having problems in school. Now again, Bacopa is a symptom reliever. It's an herbal support, and that works great, but we have to build the basic nutrition first. So we have to get rid of the toxins, all the other things that go along, get the diet straightened up, get the basic building blocks in there, and then Bacopa will work. So people will go to the vitamin store and ask for something to help with the kids' learning. They might even get Bacopa at someplace, but the problem is it won't work if you don't handle the underlying causes. So you don't get these underlying causes under control. So that's what we do with our nutrition response testing, is figure out what does that body need. It gives us a sequence of things to work on, and we work through that. We work on a lot of metal detox. Mercury and aluminum are usually the two main offenders, and then we just work on getting that body built back up so it's healthy. So I think that's all for me. Yeah, Help Shop dates. Again, Dr. Chip is tomorrow at 5 o'clock. August 5th at 6 o'clock. Don't forget to, you can also put questions in the comment sections. If you want us to answer some questions, you can always call the office and we can answer questions there too. We do offer free consultations, so you can come in and just find out what we do here. A lot of people are like, they're afraid to come in here, so it shouldn't be, but a lot of people just don't understand. It's something so different and so new, and they don't understand. So you can always come in and we'll show you around. You can see what we do. Happy to help out. Next week, helping kids succeed in school. I'll have a little more information about, again, thinking logically, being able to sit in a chair long enough to absorb things, and I might even throw some information in there about how to get past this mask stuff, because kids are going to have to worry about that a little bit. We have to put oxygen in the schoolrooms. So again, thanks. You can see us on Instagram and Facebook at Natural Health Quincy IL. Don't forget the IL. And then Natural Health Quincy for YouTube and brighteon.com. Always give us a call, 217-228-2040. We're here at 2000 Jefferson. I'd love to have you come by. I think that's it for me, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.